Into the realm of the PL-89, into the realm of the higher time, into the realm of, into the realm of Messiah time. It is simple to sing the tune, match the sun up with the sun and before the moon as per Psalm 72. It's true. Please see Psalm 72 verse 5. Yira'ucha im shamash v'lofnei reach ador darim, which means you will be feared with the sun and before the moon, many generations. The two calendars are one, match the moon up with the sun. Yaakov and Esav, Tikkun and Tohu, and with that our work is done, and is fun, and it only has just begun. This is the Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar, PL-89, Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar, coming to the close of the duration of its creation, 14 years in the making. And that was the vision or the plan or the intuition or whatever, that after Passover of 2026, this will be officially made. In other words, I won't stop studying it and using it and working with it, but it's sort of come to its culmination as far as it being created. And what it is, for many years, going back to 2012, even 2020, there were things about, even as recent as 2023, there were things about it that I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know what it was, what it is. And only after 2023, 2025, it starts to really, really come into clear focus what this actually is. And there might be still things that unfold. I'm guessing there probably will be. But I have, at least now, after 14 years, 2012, late summer 2012 was just about 14 years ago, this summer. And this past year really gave me a good picture of what it is. It's two calendars in one, like the song says. The two calendars are one. The two calendars are the Hebrew calendar, on which today it is the 13th day of Nisan, 5786, Tuesday, or Yom Shlishi, rather, third day of the week in Hebrew. And it is on, and the second calendar, that's the lunar calendar, and the solar calendar is the Gregorian calendar, on which it is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. And the parsha of the week, it's Passover, so there's no actual parsha of the week, just a special reading for the day. But Passover, God willing, will be tomorrow evening. And start tomorrow evening for 7 days here in Israel. And the Daf Yomi for today is Menachot 79, I believe. I'm going to check it just for a moment to see. 79. Menachot 79. And this calendar is, or like I said, it's two calendars in one. And it's a 90-day calendar. That time period has been mentioned in the Torah, in Tanakh, 3 times that I can quote, that I'm aware of. And this 90-day calendar is, what you're looking at is 80 days. It's 8 times 10. 8 columns, 10 rows are the colored squares that you see. The dark purple, light purple squares that you see each represent a day, and those are 80 squares. And then there's a 10-day twilight period, which is part of the calendar, except it's not on the calendar, but it is calculated. So it's 80 plus 10, 90 days, which is 3 months around, give or take a day or two, depending on the type of month it is. But this calendar is used in each quarter of the year. It's used 4 times a year. In each tekufa, it's called in Hebrew, each season, each 3-month period, which represents the seasons of the year. And I learned something very interesting today, and this is coming from my background in astrology. I studied astrology for many years growing up, from a teenager, late teen, early 20s. Throughout my life, I'd always been interested in astrology, but in a real way, not just the kind of cute stuff you read in the articles in a newspaper or in the tabloids or whatever, or just the pop astrology that's like the really general stuff, but actually the cosmos and the planets and the degrees and the different relationships between the planets and energies that would come about because of it, all as a way of studying God's creation, not for any personal gain, but just to understand it. And not for fortune telling either, but to understand things in my own life that happened this way at this time, and I could point to a certain particular pattern or particular positioning of the planets in the sky. I found that really interesting. So this calendar is, I think, a result of that. And what I found out is that it actually, in recent years, actually from when it started, had a biblical foundation. This is actually rooted in the Hebrew Bible, and many different major aspects of Judaism are found within this calendar. And in fact, the algorithm or the sequence of numbers that I came up with is directly from a verse in the Bible, in the Torah portion concerning the sabbatical year, the Shemitah, as it's called in Hebrew, in Leviticus chapter 25, around verse 20, those verses. And these numbers come from that verse. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9. And 40 is the cutoff point. And it is a gematriatic thought calendar, and it's also used as a tool for a few different things. If you ever studied the 72 letter name of God, some people call it the Shem HaMeforash, but I think the Shem HaMeforash is just the Tetragrammaton. But I think they call this the Shem HaMeforash also the 72 letter name, which is a particular type of what they call name of God that has 72 different characters, three letter characters that are derived from 3 different verses in the book of Exodus, and each verse has exactly 72 letters. So that's why it's called the 72 letter name. It's derived from 72 letters that each of these 3 verses are put together and lined up in a particular way, and it's forming an acrostic, meaning you read it up and down, you'll see this, a 3-letter word, and each one of those words is a name. So it's 72 names of God, 72 letter name, as it is called. And it's been said that this name is so powerful, it contains the information in it to... This is what's been said. I mean, I'm just saying over what I heard, that Moses somehow was able to split the sea with this name. God split the sea, but Moses perhaps had the knowledge of how God did it through this special 72-letter name. It's these names, these letters, they contain information of God's nature, of reality, of energies within creation, of divine information of how God created the world. And if you look at the table of the 72-letter names, this calendar is exactly built like this. It's a 72-letter name, has 8 different columns, and it goes down to 9 rows. 8 times 9 is 72, and except it's read this way. It's read this way. In Hebrew, it's read. The first one is here, the second one is here, the third like that. So I use it for that too. It's like, for example, if you're familiar with the 72-letter name, the first one is Vav Hey Vav is over here, and then would be Yud Lamed Yud, and then Samach Yud Tet, etc. And so it goes this way. But when I'm using it as a calendar, it goes this way. And was used as it was called the Mercury calendar. Now here's it taps into some ideas that are controversial, and until these are straightened out, I don't know what I stand on. But there's ideas about the nature of the shape of the Earth, and I'm not saying anything one way or the other. But what I will say is that if there are planets, I don't know what flat Earth people say about planets. Do they exist? Were they created, or do they not? Because if the flat Earth model, even if they're talking about this kind of dome idea where it's a firmament and the sun and the moon go across the Earth, like they say, they quote verses for that. It says in the book of Joshua that the sun stood still in the sky, which implies that the sun is the one that's moving, not the Earth. But the thought could be easily said that, yeah, the sun stood, meaning relative to the Earth from its visual point. It could be the sun stood if the Earth stopped. But maybe the Earth is not going around the sun. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. But the point is that what is published about planet Mercury is that it revolves around the sun in this amount of time. Exactly. And if that's true, then even if Mercury doesn't exist, this time period still does exist. And that's how my mathematics work. They're not predicated on whether planets exist or they don't exist. They're not predicated on whether Earth is round or flat. It doesn't matter. It could be both. It could be both true. Can you imagine that? The world is both flat and round. It doesn't matter. It can be square. It doesn't make a difference because it goes by the numbers. It's a matter of measurement. And that's how all of my astrology works. It works on measurable, visible, quantifiable, countable metrics that are applied to things that happen in real time, in real life, relevant to what's happening now. Not out there, it's in here. If I can see it in here, that's the first step to me seeing it out there. That's the philosophy behind this calendar. And I would take that straight from the Torah. Why someone with my nature is doing this? Why? Because in the Jewish culture, you might have heard of this. When a boy becomes a man, a legal man at age 13, he's obligated in Torah, mitzvot, the commandments. He reads from the Torah. And my Torah portion and my bar mitzvah was Korach. Korach, if you remember the story in Numbers chapter 16, he rebelled against Moses and he basically wanted to have the priesthood for himself, and he was kind of a troublemaker, and we need to understand deeper what he was actually doing, and there's a lot of mystery behind it, but according to the account, the earth opened up and swallowed him in. So, whether that's literal or figurative, it could be literal or it could be figurative, it doesn't matter. But the point is, it says that the earth swallowed him up. And if the earth swallowed him up, here's the thought. In Judaism, there's especially in Hasidic Judaism, it's a very positive outlook. And there's a certain group of words, and I'm not sure I'm going to quote it correctly, so I'll just say the basic words. It's like something al yidach mimenu yidach, something like that. And it's taken from the book of Samuel, when the wise woman, I think, said to either Joab, the woman of Tekoa, does that make sense? Anyway, she said something will not be pushed down forever. I think it's that. I could be mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But the words are al yidach mimenu yidach. You will not be pushed down forever. Meaning that even the worst nida, even the worst low person will not be banished forever. So, if that's true for Korach, and many say that Korach had good intentions. So if Korach was under the earth and he's given a chance to get out, how would he do it? He would have to climb on his own. He's given us jihad. He had to go little by little from the earth, from this earth, physical, mathematics, science, observable, quantifiable data. This earth. He's in the earth. He needs to come up out of the earth and gain his status as a respectable human being who is good in God's sight again. It's just an imaginative thought, so take it with a grain of salt. But since it's my portion, I connect because it's said that your portion has something to do with you. So, or it's relevant to your life. So if I needed to understand reality, if I needed to correct something or do something good on the earth or understand something, I have to use earth. Aretz, physical matter, not pie in the sky, not heavenly stuff, mathematics, numbers, gematrias, this is that, and this equals that, and this corresponds to that, and the atomic number of this is this number of that. Okay, so I would say that explanation is what inspired me to create this thing, and it's a very Korach kind of a thing. It's mathematics. It's all mental. So there's a lot more to say about it, but for time, I'll just go straight to the daily numbers. So in Dispensation 3, which we're in right now, today is the 13th day of Nisan. So the 13th day of every month of Nisan or April, any month in this dispensation. Nisan, April, any cardinal month. You can look it up if you want. Cardinal, look up the signs. So cardinal, fixed, immutable. But any cardinal sign will always be box number 20 if it's the 13th day of the month, right here, this corner here. Okay, so that's your lunar number because it's the Jewish calendar. But what about the solar number? Well, it's March 31st. March 31st will always be in this box right here. This box is 30, and it's for the 30th day of the month, but the first of every month must be on 38. Therefore, if you have a 31-day month, then this 30 will be also the box for 31. It will be a box for 2 days. Same thing over here when it comes to over here, this changing of the month. A new month, whatever the month is, the first must be on 23. Must be. It can't go, if it's a 31-day month, it can't go over it and then moves it all. No. It has to. That means that if there's a 31-day month, whatever dispensation it is, and you're in box 15, then 31 stays in 15. So the same thing here. So March has 31 days. So yesterday was March 30, but this is the box 30 is the box for March 30. But the 31 stays there. So what's 31? I'm sorry, 30 plus 20 is 50. Right? And 50 has a numerical value of 66. It's true. 50 has a numerical value of 66, which is the numerical value of the Hebrew word Ben David, son of David. I think we'll leave it at that for now.